Hey everyone, welcome back to Lovely Lavender Wishes. It's Renee. I hope you're having a very blessed day today. So, hey y'all, I finally got my boot off for the first time in like 3.5 months. I went to the doctor this morning and I am strong enough for the boot to come off. Woohoo! I'm kind of free. So now I'm still hobbling around learning to re-walk again, but we will slowly but surely get stronger every day. And that's going to be the title of one of my other pages that I'm going to do. But I had to try this page. I saw this on His Palette. Kimberly over at His Palette imitated a technique that she learned from Karen, who is a mixed media artist on YouTube. So, you know, again, not my creation, but I am going to attempt this. I haven't done any practice pages. We are going to do it live right here on video. So we'll see how it turns out. It's either going to turn into a hot mess or it'll be good. We'll see. So I'm going to try to remember exactly what she did. And I am going to be using what I have on hand. So I didn't have the same pigment powders and things that Kimberly had over at His Palette. You can check her video out as well if you want to see how she did it. I'm going to do mine a little bit differently, but kind of the same, you know, same kind of technique. So I have these butterflies. Let me grab again. You know, I have so many butterflies, so I think all my Bible pages are going to be filled with butterflies pretty soon, but I got these butterfly die cuts. Look how cute these are. I got some blue ones. I'm going to do a blue page on another day. These pink ones, and then these kind of orange-ish brown ones, and I got these from the dollar store. There's 33 and 32 in this one, but man, you can use these for a while. So I just grabbed one little butterfly out of the pink one, and then I grabbed some pink washi tapes and some black, what is this, grid washi tape. So let's get started. So this is what she did, hopefully. And we are going to kind of goof around and fool with this and see how it works. I think she just tore her washi tape. And we're going to like kind of do like a triangle-ish, I guess, along the side here. And I'm going to try to make them straight. And again, I am not exactly sure exactly how she did this whole thing, so we're gonna kind of just wing it and play with it and see what happens. I did gesso this page because we are going to put a lot of layers on this page. I'm kind of doing up and downs right now, and we'll do some across, some horizontal, vertical, horizontal. Let's do the technical names, shall we? Goodness, that's totally ripping, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna have a variety here. Actually, I think this has got to get smaller as we go. Ugh. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do this. A lot of this is going to be covered up as well. Let's do some this black and white. I don't want like full color everywhere. But I hope you're all doing good. And I'm excited. I finally got out of this boot. But I'm also nervous at the same time. So I'm kind of like hobbling around gently. I'm kind of afraid, but the doctor said, hey, you know, it's like it's healed now and I can't tear. Apparently I can't tear it again because there's like 800-pound stencil steels in my ankle. So we shall see. I mean, you know, the doctors say, oh, it's impossible, it can't happen, but then, you know, somehow I managed to make it happen. So I will just reserve, you know, we'll just wait and see what happens, I guess I'll say. So let's do that. Let's do some of this pink. And again, there's no rhyme or reason as to why I'm putting anything anywhere. I am just kind of haphazardly, so I just tore my nail there, throwing these washi tapes in a variety of spots. and we'll see how it works and how it looks when we are done. And some of this I think I'm gonna tear because I don't like it this thick. We're just gonna have fun with it. And actually, we want this to kind of go in, taper off here. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Let's bring it down a little bit more because it's gonna be on a more of an angle. Come on, Renee, we can do this. I'm pretty sure we can. Pretty sure. Let's do some across as well. Come on, I can't tear it. Let's do some of this color, and then we can always go back and add more. So yeah, this was a really cool technique that she showed us, and so I just had to try it. So we are going to have fun with this. Let's see how it goes. Let me throw that piece away. Let's have this one kind of come down. I like this one's got some glittery, like polka dots on it, so I like that. Let's do some. I don't know. Again, no rhyme or reason. If we need to, we can always put more, take away some. Let's do some across here. Let's do one across the bottom here, and then we'll add a little bit of some of this other stuff. Okay, let's add a little bit more of this one, or do we want the darker one? Let's do a little bit of dark. And I'm just going with pinks because that is the color of my butterfly here. And Kimberly just stayed with one monochromatic tone as well. Let's see. So I don't know. I've never done this before, so I'm kind of imitating, and we'll see how well this works. Kind of excited to see how this is going to turn out. Okay, let's do a little bit. This down here needs a little bit of pink. Let's do this one. And you can stand back and look at it, and if you see a spot that, where's the end here? If you see a spot that needs some more color, just add some more color. There we go. Ugh, I'm always losing the ends of this. like these little jagged ends here. This is pretty neat. That's looking pretty as it is. So if you want to keep your page just like this, just get some washi tape and then you can add little things and there's your background right there. I already really even just like that look. Okay, now I'm just making sure it's all really flat on there. If you need to glue your washi tape, you can glue it. I'm gonna put a couple more little pink little sections here. No. I think that's adding too much here. Maybe up here. Okay, let's just stop that because otherwise I'll just keep going. Okay, the next thing you need to do is cover it with gesso, clear gesso. So I'm just gonna grab just this brush. I'm gonna grab a little bit of water here and I'm gonna cover this with clear gesso. I already gessoed my page, but I'm gonna cover the washi tape. So it kind of helps seal it down and make sure there's nothing that's gonna come up, as well as give you a little bit more strength to do some more mixed media on top of it, or, you know, like another layer of sealant, I guess. And I'm kind of making sure that I'm sticking all my washi tapes down. I'm just slopping it on. Y'all know I'm a very messy crafter. Okay, that should be good. And then we gotta dry this. So dry in between every layer. I love that look. It's pretty ready as it is. But we're gonna add more and more and more. And then grab your white gesso and we're gonna whiten up the background a little bit. You could leave the background this cream color if you want. I'm working on my interleaved Bible and it's more of a creamy color page, you know, paper. It's not white. I'm gonna dry the back too. I have this little piece of paper here to protect my other pages. It's always good to have something, a protector in between your pages so you don't go off onto your, you know, previous pages or pages afterwards. Because especially the way I craft, I get paint and ink and everything all over the place. I love the little sparkles that that washi tape has, little gold flecks. We're gonna do some gold, so the reason being is this butterfly has gold accents in it, so I'm gonna use gold. If it had silver accents, I would have found washi tape with like some silver in it maybe, or we'll use silver accents on the page later, but since this has gold, I'm gonna use gold. So again, I just kind of take my image and I use the colors from my image and use the accents and such from my image. Let's make sure, whew, that is hot. I kind of play off my image. And this did have some dark pieces. I could have did some dark blues or something in there too. That would have been pretty. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Again, y'all, I'm going at this blind. I have never done this before. I am going off of what I saw Kimberly do. I'm hoping I remember it all correctly. And we shall see how it works. Okay, let me grab some paper towel here. Grab this brush again. I am literally just going to go in. She used a palette knife, and I will use a palette knife eventually. Let me move this over. But I'm gonna grab my white gesso. This is just a Liquitex basic white gesso. Ugh, if I can open it. I always just literally go right into, it's getting clumpy in there too. So like this has just been an old thing. So I'm gonna go in here and just get the background done first. So I'm gonna smear the white gesso all over the background. Now she used a palette knife and did it thick, and I'm gonna go back in and do that. I just wanna get the background kind of painted first. And this is just a really quick way I can do that. Because again, I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours crafting. I mean, I would love to. I wish I could. But I like to, if there's a faster way, I'm going to do it that way. Now you can just keep building up, building up, building up, and you want texture, that's fine. And when gesso dries, if it's in clumps, if it's clumpier, it will dry in those clumps, texturized, if that makes sense. And that's why sometimes you do want to use a palette knife and you want to put layers down. But right now I just wanted to get kind of like a wash, I guess, even though I'm not using water, a wash down onto the background. Kind of lighten up the background a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna get all that gesso off. Okay, I'm putting that in water. Wash myself off. Okay, and then let's see here. I'm gonna shake this down to the bottom. Squeeze some of it out. See, it's a little clumpy, but I don't mind. Squeeze some of that out. Now I'm going to take my palette knife and kind of go in and here we're going to kind of build it up. And here you're going to get some of the texture. Oops. This is why you got paper. Or I do, because see, y'all know I make messes. And there's probably a way easier way and cleaner way to do this, but you know me. Okay, so now I'm going to come here and I'm scraping it along the side, the edges here. Kind of getting it more of that rustic, scratchy kind of look. I'm gonna pull this stuff off. Let me open this. I'm just scraping the extra in here. And I'll bring this up close. Like you're getting different like swirls and swishes up here and layers, and it's gonna build up texturized wise. And then I'm gonna do the same thing down here. So I'm kind of just smearing this stuff. And if you drag it, you'll get different looks, and scrape it, you get different looks. Just kind of play with it. Now, if you don't have a palette knife like this, just get a plastic knife, you know, a plastic eating utensil knife. You can use forks. I mean, you'll get a different look with the forks. But you can use your fingers. You pretty much use anything to get different kinds of a texture on this. I'm just kind of scraping it off, and so this gesso will go a long way. You don't need a lot of it. Now what I'm doing is I'm scraping it off the edges here because I don't want it completely covering all this. I want some of that to show through, so I'm scraping it off. And then if you don't like in some areas, I'm actually going to clean, like I want some of these to show through more, some of this washi tape to show through more. So I'm going to go in with this. And I don't know if, I don't think Kimberly did it this way, but this is the way I'm doing it. And now I'm going to clean this off so this does not stick. Okay, let me throw that away and get another one. Always have paper towels near you. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to keep some of this. I'm going to scrape off a little bit. So I have a little bit of gesso on here. Now I'm going to go in and very lightly go over some of the washi tape. Very gently. So that's giving me a little bit more texture and grunginess on the inside. Can y'all see that? Okay. So now we've got different layers, different thicknesses. And I'm going to wipe this off. And let me bring this up so you can see it a little bit. Hang on. Okay. So do you see right up here? See the thick layers? And then some spots I scratched kind of light, harder, and made them even. And other parts I have these. So I'm going to have this texture on my page. So you have this clumpiness to the gesso. See down here at the bottom? See that? I love that look. So now you're going to get like, you're going to have this texture on your page. You're going to feel it. Oh, this is looking so good. I'm so excited. Okay, let's dry this. You can't do the next part until it's dry. And the thicker parts, of course, are going to take a little bit longer to dry. It's not completely dry, but I'm going to take this hard bristle brush and I'm going to go in with a little bit more gesso and kind of get a little bit more texturizing on these edges here. So I'm going in and like kind of stippling my brush, just kind of like punching it down. I want to get, I'm going around my washi tape here and just kind of stippling it. So I'm gonna get this other kind of texture around the image a little bit and up into the washi tape. And now that I did it, I'm looking at it and I'm not sure if I kind of like that or not. So now I'm spreading some of it out. I'm having some stipple marks and other areas not. So yeah. Okay, now let's try that. So this is gonna have to dry, we have to make sure this is dry before we can do our stamping. that ink spray and everything else. So I think Kimberly used some kind of like mica powders or miracles or something they're called. I'm not sure what she used exactly. I don't have them. Whatever they were, I don't have them. I do have mica powder, but I didn't want to like get all that out. So what I did is I grabbed some of my Delusions ink spray. I have these two pink colors, and we're going to use a little bit of both. Now I'm not going to spray the page. I'm just probably going to take a brush and brush it on. You can use watercolor. You can use mica powders. You can use whatever Kimberly used, whatever. I think those are called like little miracles or stickles or something. I don't even know what they were. But I do have, you know, like the mica powders and different things. But I just figured I'd grab these Delusion sprays since I had them. And we'll see how those work. Hopefully that'll be good. Okay, let me see. I'm going to grab this little round nose brush and shake it. So anytime you have like a nozzle like this at the top, according to Tim Holtz, he says shake it like this, back and forth, not up and down. If you shake it up and down, it tends to clog the nozzles up, and then you're trying to clear them and wash them, and it's a big pain in the butt, y'all. But I always forget because I always end up going like that. But I'm going to try to do this with these. So, and we shall see. Now, what I'm going to do, I don't want to, actually, I could probably just do it with this. Well, maybe not. I was going to say I could just drip some like this. Look at how bright that pink is. And you can take water. So I'm just going to put this in some areas here. Like this, and we're gonna, I was gonna take my brush and do it, but this looks like this will work just as well. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna take my brush and water. And kind of move this around a little bit. You can take your book and, you know, hold it up and drip it if you want. But look, a little bit of ink goes a long way. You don't need a lot. And you could have it dripping. Or you can just make it look like it's dripping a little just with the water you have. Actually, I want some to kind of go up that way. You could spray it too, but this stuff tends to go everywhere. And I don't know if I wanted like spray splatters everywhere. So I think that'll be good. Let's dry that a little bit, and then we'll add some of this other color. So again, that same thing can be done with watercolor. Or any paint you have. I don't want that going off that way. You see, I'm looking to see if anything's going through. Nothing's going through. That's the beauty of gessoing your page. Okay, now let me grab this. See how that went off there? You can just clean it up with some white Go back in with your white gesso and just kind of cover over it. And it's like it never happened. We can always add more. I'll probably have to clean up some more at the end too. So we'll just, let's see what this color looks like now. I think this is more of a purplish, deeper. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, I love that. We're gonna put some there. Okay, I'm gonna grab my brush and we're gonna do the same thing. Kind of go in with a little bit more water. There we go. Add the water. Again, no rhyme or reason. And there's some areas that I think I'm gonna just kind of dab it up. I like that to be dark, so. Okay, let's dry that and see what, wait, hang on. I see this big old spot right there. So look how pigmented this stuff is. I mean, you do not need a lot at all. It's looking quite different from when you first started, huh? So it depends on what look you want. If you don't want to put the ink on it, then don't put the ink on it. I kind of actually liked it without the ink. This is a different look. So I might try one next time without this ink on it. I liked the texture of the gesso and stuff. Now, I could always go back in and put more gesso, which I might actually do. I might put a little bit more gesso on. In just a few places. Just to make it look a little bit more rough and not so, I don't want that much. Okay. And as you see, I got some spots out there. So then I just take my brush. Oops, I am getting water everywhere. I'm gonna go back in with the gesso, cover that up. And again, I don't mind if there's some little spots because just it's kind of like it dripped dropped in a few spots. I kind of like that. Okay, let me cover that. And let's come dry this part. It's always dry, dry. It's like craft, dry, paint, dry. Add a layer, dry. Like nothing through the page. Okay, now this part we have to make sure is completely dry before we can start doing our stamping. Oh, y'all, I didn't even tell you where we're at. Oh my gosh, we're in Psalm 36. So, here, let that dry a little bit on its own. So Psalm 36, it's called How Precious is Your Steadfast Love. And actually, this page is going to be called You Are Loved. And verse 5 starts, Your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the mountains of God. Your judgments are like the great deep. Man and beast you save, O Lord. How precious is your steadfast love, O God. The children of mankind take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light do we see light. Oh my gosh, I love that, y'all. And then it says, continues, Oh, continue your steadfast love to those who know you, and your righteousness to the upright of heart. Let not the foot of arrogance come upon me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. This is the part that kind of stood with me. At one point, remember I was telling y'all, I was looking at the people around me, the unbelievers, and they were all living lives of, ease. And all the believers were having such a hard time. And I didn't want the hand of the wicked to drive me away. There the evildoers lie fallen. They are thrust down, unable to rise. So it shows what's going to happen to them. But I just have to sometimes remember that I am loved, and I want you all to remember that you are loved by the Lord. His love is so precious, and that's kind of where this page is coming from, which I'm so sorry I didn't even tell you from the beginning. I was just so excited to get going on this page that I've never done before, but I'm also excited about his love. And purple and pinks are kind of my favorite colors, and so that kind of reminds me of this. And actually I was gonna highlight this with, I have some colored pencils here. And while this is continuing to dry, I'm gonna grab this really bright pink. And I think I'm just going to highlight the whole thing here. Squiggly wigglies, squiggly wigglies, squiggly wigglies. You can do it with a pen, colored pencil, what have you. But this is the page. And so it's kind of like it's pointing to his steadfast love. I mean, that's just the way the page is laid out, but excuse me. So we'll just highlight that so I know what verse I'm focusing on. And let's just make sure that this is completely dry. Okay, now since it's going like this way, I'm gonna turn the page like this to make it easier for me to stamp. I'm gonna grab my VersaFine Instant Dry Pigment ink. And I grabbed my cling stamp that I got from Hobby Lobby, France from Stampendous cling stamp. And we are gonna do some of the script. We want some of it to kind of peep out of the side in some spots. And we can always go in and clean a little bit of it up. I'm trying right now to just get some to kind of peep out of the sides. Oh, there we go. That was a dark one. And then you're gonna kind of go into your washi tape and get the stamps going on all along the inside of it as well. Have some of that peeping out from that side, yeah. Okay, this side needs a little bit more. Now you can always go back in and clean some of it up. Okay. that should be good for that. And then I've got this postcard one that I'm gonna put on here, and I'm gonna put that in some areas as well. Now this one I want to be darker, so I'm gonna press harder. I want it to kind of show up a little bit more, some bigger, you want some contrasting. So it's like some big words, some little words, some big images, little images, things like that. And since it's our love letter from God to us, I kind of like this postcard stamp. That's kind of what this symbolizes for me. Okay, and then let's see if we can stick that there. Post, okay. Got that one. And I'm not sure. I've got this one, which is like another postcard one. Let's see what this is gonna look like. Maybe we'll put it in one or two areas. Have that image. Let's see if I can get it kind of straight. That's good. Just some contrasting little things going on. Okay, let's close this. Now what I want to do is go in and clean up some of the stamping that I made a mess with along the edges. So I'm going to go in. Actually, okay, I'm going to do it with this brush first, and then I'm going to go in with my palette knife, I think. So some of these areas, that's why it's good when you have these clumps everywhere, because when you go in to clean, you'll have more clumps and it'll just blend in with everything else. Oops, there's my stomach growling, y'all. Pavlov's dog. I'm on camera, so, you know, stomach's got to start growling. Okay, so there's that. Let me grab the palette knife and get some of this on my edge. And do some of the scraping again, just along the edge. Should be good. Boy, it really is looking different from when from the very first, you know, washi tape part. And I like the way the washi tape looked by itself too, just with some of the gesso. So I might do that on another page too. So I'm doing all the layers that she had, but on another page I might do it a little bit differently. I don't know. We'll see. Let's try that. Bunch of gesso right there. I'm trying to get off there now. Bubble. which is kind of cool because it's giving me some new texture as well. The bubbling. It's getting a little hot. Okay, let's let that sit there for a second. Okay, so then I also grabbed this Faber-Castell gel paint. It's some gold gel paint. And I'm going to put a little bit, let me grab a protection sheet. Let's put this right here. Okay, so I'm going to take just a little bit of this gel paint. Look at how brilliant that is. Love it. And then we are going to take this small little, well, no, let me grab this one. Clear off all this gesso. I'm going to grab some water and get a little bit of this wet. And I am going to, I think that's a little too wet, maybe. I need some of this. Yeah, that's a little too wet. Or I need a little bit more. I don't know. Let me figure this out. I haven't tried this with water. Maybe it doesn't even react with water very well. I can do, let's mix that real good. Okay, now we're gonna just do some splatters. You can use your, what is it? Pearlescent watercolors. Oh yeah, I can see it. You can use gold foil if you want on this. You can use mica powders on this, whatever you got. I'm gonna use my finger and kind of go along the sides here, along the edges, and get this part. Ooh. Some of that ink is still. So I'm just kind of going along the sides. Anytime you put water on these dilution inks, I think it. So you can do the same thing with, like I said, gold foil. And I'm gonna just kind of go in some areas really lightly with my finger and just use this extra gold I have up. There we go. Okay. So you can do some splatters. You can do black splatters if you want, gold splatters. I'm using the gold because of the gold in the butterfly and in the washi tape. So let's try that. And then I'll bring it up to you. I'll show you if you guys can't see. The shimmer and shine. So pretty. Okay, let me bring that up. I'm standing on 2 feet, y'all. Kind of. I'm a little wobbly, but okay, can you see that in the light? See that gold? Look at that. Ooh, look at that shimmer. Okay, so there's a little bit of like some splatters, and then with my finger, the shimmer. Look at that. Oh, love it. So look at all that texture, y'all, on the page. I don't know, hang on, let my camera. Between the gesso, the ink, the washi tape, look at all that texture. See, look at that. Look at all that texture on the page. You can see the splatters right there. I like how when you go over the stamps with gesso, you can see the stamps a little bit in the background. I mean, you can cover them up totally if you want, but I like how they kind of fade out. So that's that part. Now we're just gonna assemble the rest of the page. So I'm going to grab, let me move my water because I know I'll knock that over. I'm gonna grab my butterfly, and I think we'll stick the butterfly like right about there. Just glue the butterfly on. Make sure you got enough glue because it's got to stick to all this mixed media that you added onto the page. I mean, if you want to do a heavier glue, you can. I just have my glue stick here, so that's what I'm using. And then I grabbed these little Tim Holtz sediments. And I don't know if I want to do, there's one that says here, "You are loved." So it comes in, this one's like quotations with metallic stickers. So one is on white paper, and one's on black paper, and then you've got silver metallic on white and black. But since we got the gold, I'm going to use the gold. And I'm wondering, do we want to put black or do we want to put white? I think the black may show up better. "You are loved." We're going to put right here. Let's make sure it's on straight though, shall we? "You are loved." And we got the butterfly here, I think, or do we want it white? And then we can outline it in black. Let me see what this one will look like. Sometimes you can't tell until, let me see what that looks like compared to that. Yeah, you know what? I know you all think that the black is going to show up more, but we're going to outline it in black because I'm going to do the butterfly in black too. So I just like the way it kind of blends in and blends in with the background too. So let's try that. And then I'm going to get a black colored pencil. You can get colored pencil. You can get a marker. But I'm going to just kind of outline this. Things are still sticking to me because it's not all dry. And then this little piece of washi tape has got to go under there. There we go. And let's outline this butterfly. Make sure he stands out. He, she. And just remember, y'all, that you are loved. Even though sometimes you don't feel God's love, sometimes it feels far away, he still loves you, y'all. He will never abandon you. He has steadfast love. No matter how much we go against him, he still loves us. And isn't that crazy and wild and just phenomenal? I just love that. And that's what this page is kind of symbolizing to me. And there we go. I think that's our page. I might put the date right here with a date stamp. But oh my gosh, that was fun to do. And I've learned some things that I like and I might do differently in another page. But I mean, I love experimenting. Don't be afraid to experiment in your Bible, y'all. It's a good process. I love looking back on pages that I was like, oh, that was the first time I did that. And I got better as I went along, or I tried something different. I think the next page, I'm going to try another sample page that Kimberly did. And I'm going to do that one a little bit differently, I think. Maybe the same kind of technique, but I'm not going to put as much on it. And we'll see what that looks like. So, hey, we'll fool around. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon. We'll see. But okay, here, let's bring this up. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous, y'all? Look at that gold. Oh, I love that. I do love that part. I mean, I love all of it, really. I love the whole process. So there's the page, y'all. And I'll just date stamp it. But you are loved, and we are in Psalm 36. How precious is your steadfast love, Lord. I hope y'all enjoyed that. For those of you who have not seen Kimberly's demonstration, she's over on his palette Bible journaling group on Facebook, and she imitated this style from Karen, who's a mixed media artist on YouTube, I think. So you can kind of, and I'm sure Karen learned it from somebody, maybe not, maybe Karen came up with it herself. So it's like all of us just imitating each other and coming out with different pages. But there's my page that I tried for the very first time. It's exciting. I love it. I love the look. Hope you all do too. So anyways, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.